in favor of the winner. And now the four-time heavyweight champion of the world, EVANDER.
Johnny, do you feel as though you were robbed?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I basically controlled the fight. I was the one aggressive in there, and you know, he was basically throwing everything, including elbows, heads, anything he had, he's throw it out there. I'm surprised he didn't throw a knee at me either.
How surprised were you when you heard four-time heavyweight champion?
I don't know what they were seeing, so it could have been the fight before or the fight after we're thinking about, but I know they were watching off the me and Holyfield fight. And I mean, I won the fight, and he knows it.
Well, you know, there's no doubt that, you know, I won the fight. The guy was awkward. You know, he kept his hands in very close, so I couldn't get him with a good right hand, couldn't get him with an uppercut. He fought a very defensive fight, which, you know, keep you from getting knocked out. But in one way or another, I heard him and all that. So, you know, I'm happy about the victory.
Will you give Johnny Ruiz a rematch?
Well, yes, I will. Yes, I will. There ain't no problem.
This time around, I'm definitely going to do what I trained to do the first time around. Do a lot of movement, a lot of jabs, a lot of combinations, and just basically just stay in the outside. If I would have fought the fight we trained to fight, you know, I definitely would have knocked him out.
Well, I will go in this fight, and I fought him before, and I know he may be aggressive. I know I have to pressure him. You know, I know that I have to just tighten the pressure up on the young guy, and, you know, and be willing to fight that way for 12 rounds if I have to.
This time around, it's definitely going to be a knockout. You know, I definitely feel like I should knock him out and go in and do it.
So when it comes down with two people fighting, it's going to come down to knowledge. I have more knowledge. Come down to skill and plans. I'm a strategist, and I do it well. And, you know, and I will knock him out.
John Ruiz from Puerto Rican parents who may have the fastest ring entrances in boxing, and here he comes, trotting in. His trainer Norm Stone in front of the manager there, the hat, Gabe LaMarca. He said they lost Ruiz in the first fight in the third round when he wanted to show he could slug with Holyfield. On the subject of Holyfield's perforated eardrum as an excuse, Stone said Ruiz broke his eardrum during the fight, and his nose was busted in round 12, but you don't hear him complaining. And while Holyfield's broken eardrum sounds like an excuse to cover up a bigger problem, difficult to doubt a man whose boxing career is predicated on guts and courage. But here he comes, led by the man they call Stoney, Norm Stone, his trainer, John Ruiz. He's got about 3,000 people from Chelsea, Massachusetts. He comes busted out of the tunnel like a football team. Now the crowd gets a good view of him. He pumps his chest and he's ready for action. Just before the first fight, Bobby, you talked about the importance of the first two rounds, setting the tone. Your thoughts on that now?
I'll tell you what, Steve, I think the importance of the first two rounds in this fight are equally important, if not more important. Fluke or fact is what we're going to find out. If Holyfield jumps on Ruiz, gets in his face and fights hard, and John can handle him, maybe he has the keys to unlock Holyfield. If he doesn't react well, his confidence is going to go south.
If Holyfield jumps right on Ruiz, which a lot of people think is going to be the case, and looks for an early finish, what's Ruiz's best tact?
Well, his best tact is get his pound of flesh and make sure he knows, that Holyfield is, that is, he knows he's got somebody in front of him who's going to fight him back and not fold and not cave to the pressure. Other than that, he would get steamrolled.
There he is, the easy-going, quiet man, John Ruiz. Looks like he's doing a little last-minute praying to the man upstairs. His fans are here in full force to support him from suburban Boston. But he holds the island of Puerto Rico very near and dear to his heart. That's where his parents are from. He's getting last-minute instruction from Norm Stone. Norm was very vocal in that last fight with Evander Holyfield. And here he is, no denying his accomplishments, brave history defined by the heroic first fight with Mike Tyson, but there's also no denying how flat he looked in the first fight. Was it the ear problem? Was it erosion? Did he just underestimate Ruiz? His trainer, Don Turner, told us Holyfield fights on instinct. As soon as he starts thinking, he's in trouble. And that's what happened, according to Don, in August. He also said he'd be shocked if tonight goes past 6 rounds, that this is the best he's seen Holyfield since the first Tyson fight. Turner said Holyfield is very sensitive to criticism, but it was probably the best thing for him. Bobby, in retrospect, were we unnecessarily rough on Holyfield in the first fight?
You know what, Steve? Evander Holyfield himself has set the standard for how we judge him. The ultimate overachiever, I've always said it, and I think that only Evander Holyfield knows what was bothering him. Has he come of age? Was it the eardrum? And I feel vindicated that there was a physical impairment. Did he underestimate his man, or did he just have an off night? Only he knows, and I don't think he's going to tell us.
There is Don Turner off his left shoulder. Of course, in Holyfield's mind, it's not, but is this a no-win situation in terms of his health and well-being? I mean, even if he loses, Bobby, there could be a third fight with Ruiz. He's defiant about continuing in a sport that can produce severe repercussions later in life.
I really don't know what he's going to do if he loses. I would like to see him retire. If he wins, though, I know he's going to continue. He's on a mission. His quest is ahead of him.
Coming in as usual to spiritual music, which he sings to. Looking extremely determined. And he hears it from this crowd. So there he is, Evander Holyfield, who said he's looking for the knockout. Let's see how they stack up on paper as we go to the tail of the tape. As mentioned, Holyfield turned 38 in October. Ruiz 9 years younger. The height nearly even. Exact same reach at Thursday's weigh-in. Thursday, Ruiz was 10 pounds heavier than Holyfield. He was only 3 pounds heavier in the first fight. And the key rules for this championship fight: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, it's a no contest. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecard. So here at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, getting ready for our main event, the WBA Heavyweight Championship, Evander Holyfield versus John Ruiz, the rematch. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we present our featured bout of the evening, at this time, I'd like to ask you to rise for a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Showtime Event Television, the Mandalay Bay, the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser, and I1.com. $10,000 awarded daily. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, the president Gilberto Mendoza, supervisor Dr. Elias Cordova, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem, commissioners Amy Ayub, Glenn Carano, Dr. Flip Pomansky, and Dr. Luther Mack. The executive director is Mark Ratner. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Stanley Christodoulou. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Chuck Jumpa. Also from Las Vegas, Patricia Jarman Manning. And the third man of the ring, our referee in charge, working in this his 139th world title bout, Joe